Well, it's time for our regular gender reveal segment because we live in a society that has forgotten the basics. Joining me now is Kirralie Smith, the spokeswoman for Binary. Kirralie, first the Olympics, now the Paralympics. Why is it so hard to protect girls and women's sports?
Yeah, look, this is really upsetting and irrational, Lyle. A man, a 50-year-old man who has an eyesight issue will be running in the 200 and 400 metre women's races because he says he identifies as a woman. He likes to wear his, little budgie smuggler outfit. He's still got all his male genitalia and he will be running against these women. This is another case of protecting men's feelings at the expense of women's fairness in sport. It is absolutely offensive and bizarre. We all know, we all see that he's a man. There's no argument about that, and yet he's been given permission to race against these women who have trained their whole life. And I don't think there's too many 50-year-old women competing in a Special Olympics or Paralympics, or any Olympics. But a 50-year-old man can do that against women because he has obvious advantages.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Kirralie, last week back here in Australia, the Victorian Supreme Court, a judge there ruled that a 12-year-old girl could get access to puberty blockers. Now, Kira Bell was 15, the UK detransitioner, when she was given puberty blockers, and that destroyed her life. Chloe Cole was even younger. The politicians who fail to act are the real culprits here, aren't they?
Look, absolutely. It's a system out of control. This judge has condemned a 12-year-old girl to a lifelong medical dependency that's going to cause incredible problems to her body if she continues to take these drugs. She could be sterile, she could have high cholesterol, she could have cancer even, her uterus can atrophy, male pattern baldness, so many horrific side effects that are not reversible. And the politicians have just sat back, allowed this to happen, again, all for the sake of the feelings of some activists, not taking into consideration the irreversible harm that they're doing to these young people. And, these guys will probably be out of office by the time this 12-year-old becomes an adult, realises the dreadful mistake that she's made, and none of them will have to pay the consequences, but she'll live with them for the rest of her life.
Yeah. And look, people might wonder, why are we talking about these things? Because new things happen every week in this space. And look, I was shocked to read that. And despite the Cass report in the UK, despite so much evidence showing the harms that you've just so eloquently described, our politicians allow this to roll on like a juggernaut. Speaking of dumb politicians, Kirralie, I have to ask you about Kamala Harris's running mate, the Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Now, this is the man who, while governor, put tampon machines in boys' toilets. What sort of a weirdo is he?
Oh, look, it's incredible, Lyle, that anyone who would put young girls at risk in male toilets like that is unbelievable. If a young girl is identifying as male and she goes into that bathroom and starts getting tampons out of the tampon machine, that's putting a target on her back, and it's unfair, it's full of risk, it's dangerous, and it is insane. It's very weird. These girls need protection, they need compassion, but, putting these things in a male bathroom is beyond comprehension.
It sure is. Well, Kirralie, look, unfortunately that's all we've got time for today, but really appreciate those insights, and we'll look forward to chatting with you again next week here on ADH TV.
Thanks for having me again, Lyle.